and one of the most often visited by travelers to the area. It is a place of beauty and majesty, but can also be filled with danger. The sheriff's office frequently has every officer occupied whenever the area is filled with tourists. This is especially true on the 4th of July weekend.
Better bring in the volunteers as well.
Many of the people who work to ensure the safety of the region's visitors are volunteers who do the job out of sheer love for helping others. One such volunteer was Sam Mitchell. Sam was enjoying the morning alone with his wife, Connie.
By the way, your mom called while you were washing up. She said your dad's going to go ahead and drive straight through. So they'll probably be here about 6 tonight.
Nothing like a 1,000-mile drive to get his blood pumping.
Sam, you've got to help me decide what to cook for them.
I'm sure whatever you cook will be fine, honey.
Take a chance for once. You've lived with them for 20 years. You must have a hunch. How about chili? Or fettuccine?
I don't get hunches, remember?
Never?
How about if you handle the family intuition and I'll just stick to the real world, okay?
Sam knew, almost before he picked up the phone, that the caller would be the sheriff's dispatcher asking him to report to duty.
Okay, I'm on my way. It's the 4th. He warned me last week I'd probably be working this weekend.
You promised we were going to spend the day together.
I know, and I wanted to. I'm sorry.
Sorry's good old sometimes.
I'll make it up to you when I get home. Probably be before my folks even get here. Okay?
Call me if you're going to be late.
Okay.
Sam liked to base his decisions on facts. He did not believe in following vague hunches. So he could not have even suspected that before this day was over, his attitude toward trusting his feelings would change forever.
I didn't know what we were going to do. I don't know anything about cars, and well, my husband here, he has a hard time seeing since his eye surgery, so, gosh, I mean, anything could have happened.
Oh, this is nothing. Just take a minute and we'll get you back on the road, okay?
Oh, I had a feeling this morning we should have checked the car before we left, but we didn't.
You had a feeling, huh? You must know my wife.
Excuse me?
It's nothing.
It often seemed to Sam that everyone in the world but him at times relied on these feelings. He found himself wondering what it was like to follow something so unreliable.
Hi, Charlotte. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, Sam.
There's a station wagon overheated out on I-40, so I stopped to help him out.
That's the job for you.
That's exactly what we want you to do. Sam, when are you going to start working for me full-time? You're a born sheriff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Got him right out of high school. You know my motto, get 'em young, train 'em right, so I can retire and go fishing. Now, we're already clearing a slew of accidents. I want you to cover Winterton and the main highway. I'm worried about this weekend. I really need you, Sam. You've always been smart, logical, and cool-headed.
Well, thanks, Will. I won't let you down.
That's my man.
On his way to the busy highway, Sam began to feel a strange sensation, an almost irresistible temptation to steer toward a particular hillside, miles from his assignment. He didn't understand why the spot grabbed his attention. There were occasional fire problems in that area, but today there were no telltale signs of smoke, and yet Sam felt powerfully drawn to an unseen place in the hills.
Sam, what's your 20?
Just turned off Old Cherokee Trail.
Okay, we've got a 1016 in your area. 913 Sequoia Terrace.
I'm on the way.
Sam wasted no time getting to the address. An urgent dispatch of that kind meant someone needed his help now.
How's she doing?
Oh, man, thank you. You're a lifesaver. Our water's broke, the ambulance is tied up. We're all here all alone now, this tire.
You don't look so good.
Thanks a lot.
The doctor said it'd be real dicey. Karen's had some nasty complications. She might have died if you hadn't come along like you had.
Well, you and your baby, we're gonna get you somewhere safe and warm real soon. You're both gonna be just fine, okay? Can you walk?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's go.
Then, even while speeding the young couple toward the hospital, Sam once again felt the powerful sensation that seemed to come from the faraway hillside. Sam promised himself that after today's emergencies were all taken care of, he would drive up to that hillside and find out what was there. But at that moment, there were simply more urgent things to do. Sam got the parents-to-be to the hospital with only moments to spare.
Thanks again, officer.
Sam Mitchell.
We'll never forget you, man. And if it's a boy, we'll name him after you.
Take care. I'm clear, Charlotte. Nothing like helping to usher a new life into the world.
Sheriff Cobb says he's holding a cigar for his new midwife. And he also wants you to keep an eye on that New Canyon Road.
Roger that. Say, Charlotte, do you ever get the feeling that, you pass someplace and you think maybe you ought to stop there?
All the time. Why?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering. Listen, tell Will that I'm gonna head up the old canyon road, okay?
Copy.
Still, in the back of his mind was the almost magnetic pull he had felt from the hillside he had passed earlier. But since the feeling was not based on logic or reason, he decided to try to ignore it.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Listen, I'm just calling to tell you that I'm getting held up here. I'm gonna be a little later than I thought.
Had a feeling you were going to say that. I'll go ahead and tell your folks if they arrive before you do.
What is it?
I just miss you, that's all.
I miss you too, honey.
Sometimes I think your work's more important than we are.
Oh, now you know that's not true. I have to do this.
Just gets hard.
I'll see you as soon as I can, okay?
Be careful.
Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.
Sam, what's your current 20?
I'm just turning back onto Old Cherokee Trail, over.
Well, I sure could use some help up here.
Well, I'm on the way, boss.
I hope he gets here fast. Oh, come on, let's go.
Sam now prepared to head toward the highway at his best speed. But at that moment, he once again felt the strange summons from the hillside. Only this time, the feeling was more urgent, more compelling. There was no mistaking the sensation. It was as if some powerful, invisible hand were gently nudging him toward a particular spot on the side of the hill. Sam weighed the options. At first, there seemed to be no question that he should follow orders and proceed to the highway. But then, the impulse to steer toward the hill became more insistent. Try as he might, he couldn't push the feeling of urgency out of his mind. Suddenly, the left turn signal began flashing on its own. That seemed to Sam to be a kind of sign, a message, telling him that he must at all costs turn to the left instead of the right. Sam felt certain he was headed for an encounter with something on the top of that hill, but at that moment, he had no idea what it could possibly be.
Charlotte, tell the sheriff I'm having some trouble getting to him, but I'll be there as soon as I can.
We could really use you, Sam.
I know. Just cover for me and I'll be there.
Okay.
Still following the irresistible pull from the hilltop, Sam turned onto a road just outside the state park, an abandoned mining road that hadn't been used in decades. As he approached the top of the hill, the powerful sensation he had been feeling began to change. It no longer seemed to be an urgent summons, but was now a wave of pain. remote hillside on the outskirts of a state park, two elderly people lay injured, possibly dying, and Sam Mitchell had stumbled onto their exact location.
Dispatch, this is Sam. I have a 1050. Do you copy, Charlotte?
Copy, Sam. Go.
I have two elderly accident victims. Vital signs are weak but stable. We're located 3/4 of a mile south of Deer Creek Fork off of the State Park Road. We're down on the north embankment. I'm going to need an ambulance, over.
Copy that, Sam, but it'll be a while before the ambulance can reach you. They're all the way across the county line on another call.
Check, Charlotte. I'll do what I can here. Sam out.
Please help my husband. He can't die like this. Please help.
Sam knew instantly that the man would need much more help than he could provide. He also knew the ambulance would take some time to respond to his call. Sam could only hope the man could hang on until the ambulance got there.
The ambulance might take a while. Get here. How did you guys get here so fast?
What do we got here?
Oh, they flipped that bike over.
Oh, not exactly the type you'd expect to have a dirt bike accident, huh?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
Sam asked the woman to explain how she and her husband had come to have this accident in such a deserted area. He wanted to take her mind off the effort being made to help her husband.
We're staying with our son for the holiday. He lives down near the entrance to the park. The family went into town for ice cream. They all spotted that old dirt bike.
So you rode it up here?
I didn't want to go at first. I told him it was too dangerous, but he reminded me how daring we were when we were younger. So we were like kids again. Then he saw that old mining road and...
Looks like that bike hit something on the trail and flipped over?
That's right. I saw Harold was hurt worse than me, and I just started to pray as hard as I could. He could have died out here, but you saved us. I haven't been worried since I started to pray. I knew he would send us someone. You see, he sent you.
Me?
Within a few minutes, the paramedics had moved the old couple into the ambulance, where they could be stabilized for transportation to the hospital.
To point the way. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you. I think they would have both died of hypothermia if you hadn't arrived in time.
Hey, what about you guys? How did you get here so quick?
We responded to a call for an accident just down the road. It was a false alarm, so we headed back. And just at the top of this road, we got your dispatch's call. We turned left, and here we are.
Guess I wasn't the only one to put out a call, huh?
Seems like somebody up there really wanted those two to stay alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
They're stable. Let's get them to the hospital.
Well, we better get going.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
We'll see you next time. Well, I've really enjoyed working here.
Sam.
I was just following a hunch.
Rules and regulations don't cover everything. Sometimes you have to Go with what you feel. You can't go wrong trusting your instincts. Remember that, son.
Thanks, Will. I'll see you.
What are you doing here? I didn't expect to see you so soon.
I think we should have the chili.
Thanks. I like that.
I had a hunch that you would.
What? You had a hunch?
I've been having them all day.
Sam Mitchell, once a man of logic and reason alone, became a different man that day. He had come face to face with an old woman who had reached out to her God in selfless prayer. Miles away, a volunteer officer had been prompted to go to her aid. There was nothing haphazard or coincidental about it. In spite of all logic and reason, he had followed those promptings and discovered that as human beings, we all share responsibilities for one another. Sam Mitchell had always felt the volunteer service he gave was worthwhile, even important. His mountain miracle told him why.
Sam,